2, no brainer. MMA.
Was goody.
What's up, Dane?
Had a long day.
Oh,
It's only getting longer. But UFC 268, shit was crazy.
yeah, dude, that was pretty awesome. I was so grateful I was able to watch it because I was away for the weekend, so I had to find a TV, and we were lucky enough to actually watch it, and it was fucking epic. Got the whole main card right. Can't ask for anything better than that. I think me and you did. I think there was 14 fights. I think we both got like 11 out of 14, which is, all.
I took Edmund Shabazi in.
Oh, that was wrong. That was wrong to do. He looks terrible, man. He really looks terrible.
Get rid of Count Dracula.
Well, that seems to be the problem with like everyone that ends up getting trained by him. They just slowly crumble and fall off into an
oblivion. He's like 23 years old though. Like he's got a future.
Yeah, he can smarten up. He's not like a 30-something-year-old Ronda Rousey, but yeah, he's still got a chance. But like he's lost 3 in a row, decisive losses.
Yeah,
not a good look.
Would you say that Gaethje Chandler was fight of the year?
Oh, that was so cool, man. I thought Gaethje might have won the Chandler won like that first round, and then just Gaethje went nuts. Also, the Rose fight was close.
I had Rose 3-2.
Yeah, I had Rose 3-2 also. I think they got it right.
I had Usman Covington 4-1 or 3-2 for Usman.
And what was the other one that we're missing?
There wasn't another big decision. Frankie Edgar got knocked out, and
yep, that's what it was. Did you see these? You see the memes of his fucking face when he got knocked out?
No, I didn't.
Oh my! Did you? Oh, dude, I gotta send you them. It's literally like he's not Frankie Edgar anymore. He's like a different person. His whole face got like shifted.
I thought he was winning that fight. I was scoring that third round for Frankie.
No, I think he was. I saw like Frankie Edgar decision was like a pretty solid bet when I was putting my bets in, but I ended up going with just the Marlon Vera money line, which was pretty good.
Yeah, but scary because he did lose those first 2 rounds.
Yeah, it was. But you saw him setting up that front kick,
Yeah.
Like, he probably threw it 2 times that round, and finally he just got the timing right, and it just connected.
He was throwing shit up the middle, like that's what he was saying. Everything.
That was a fun fight. I don't know why Chandler Gaethje wasn't the third fight. I don't know why it started off the night.
Trevor Whitman. They didn't want him having to coach three people in a row.
Oh, is that what it was? And Gaethje's like, just put me on the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that.
You don't have those fans that are filing in like at the end, like they're there to see that fight, like
totally. I didn't even think about that. That's sick. All right, so let's start this up. UFC Vegas 42.
Yeah, just finished eating. Perfect timing.
And we're gonna start it off. Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Da Un Jung. So Kennedy Nzechukwu 4-1 in his last 5. Only loss coming from Paul Craig, coming back and is he's coming off back-to-back KOs and performance of the night and fight of the night. He's got an even striking differential, 43% accuracy, 83-inch reach, which is pretty insane. He's got heavy hands, but he's kind of slow in his striking. If you watch that Carlos Ulberg fight, you just see how slow he is, because Carlos Ulberg was like, he outstruck him 2-1 easy. I don't know.
Yeah, Ulberg was beating the shit out of him, dude.
Yeah, and he just caught him, but he just caught him with like 1 punch. Kind of one-sided. He hasn't landed a takedown in 6 UFC fights. Gets taken down a little too much too. Got controlled for over 7 minutes in his last fight. He's taken on Da Un Jung, who's undefeated in the UFC, 3-0-1.
He gets those comeback knockouts.
Yes. He's got some. That's because he's got great cardio. Recently coming off a win over William Knight. Going into that fight, he didn't land a takedown in the UFC and was able to take down Knight 8 times. I did not see that coming at all. That was pretty wild.
Even with his own back against the fence, he was taking
Yeah,
him down.
and it shows that like his game is just evolving, which is exactly what you want to see. He's also got an even striking differential at 45% accuracy, not to mention 88% takedown defense. And I do think he'll be able to take down Kennedy and get the win here. That's pretty much how I see this one going. I don't know if Da Ujung's gonna want to stand with Kennedy just because his hands are so.
And he's got a ridiculously long reach. That's the thing with him too. But I don't think he's that technically good. You saw Carlos Ulberg beat the shit out of him. He gets the shit beat out of him. I think that this fight's it. I agree.
Yeah.
Da Jung's gonna be smart. I think he's gonna take the fight down. But dude, this guy Kennedy just somehow comes back and knocks people the fuck out. So
yeah, he's got an iron chin, dude.
Yeah, every time, but he gets rocked, but he doesn't go down,
And did he beat Danilo Marquez in his last time out? Danilo Marquez, I thought was like sick. He only has 3 UFC fights, 2-1, but like in those first 2 fights, he looked like very, very good on the ground. And Njuguna was just able to KO him late in the beginning of the third.
Yeah,
pretty crazy. But we're agreeing on this one, right? We're both gonna go Kennedy and Njuguna.
What would you say?
Oh no, we're both going to go Da Ujung.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're going Da Ujung.
Oh, I almost screwed that one up. Okay, so we're both agreeing Da Ujung. Moving into the next one, Mark Diakis versus Rafael Alves. So Rafael Alves is 1-1 under UFC umbrella. He's coming off a debut loss from Demiris Magulov, who was the person who missed weight last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, he missed weight and wasn't able to fight. Wasn't even close.
He didn't he fight?
No, he was supposed to fight Magomed Mustafaev.
Yeah, and he missed weight badly.
Bad, very bad. Rafael Alves is a BJJ black belt, a Muay Thai black belt, former Titan FC world champ, very well rounded. It shows 7 wins by KO TKO, 7 wins by sub. But only has a 50% takedown defense over the first 2 fights. Kind of got complacent when he was taken down against Ismagulov, and just started going for subs instead of trying to get up, and lost to control time. He's going to be taking on Mark Diakis, 2-3 in his last 5, although he's been fighting absolute killers.
Reserve and fucking hack press. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, just like really tough competition. I actually think he's pretty underrated. He also fought Dan Hooker and Drakkar Close. So, like, really only fights. And Lando Venata.
He beat Lando Venata.
Yeah. He outstruck him and took him down.
Lando Lanata.
Yeah, Lando Venata. Ooh. Where was I? And Mark Diakis is very well rounded, plus 0.3 striking differential. Which isn't that great, but whatever.
He's a decent striker. He really is.
But also 2.2 takedowns per fight at 36% accuracy. And I think that's going to be the difference maker in this one. So I'm going to go with Mark Diakis in this one.
Yeah, I was going to hit all the same points. I think he's just going to be better and sharper on the feet, and that's where I see the fight really staying for the most part. I mean, Alves very well might try to bring the fight to the ground, but he hasn't in his 2 UFC fights. So
exactly.
He likes to slug it out, and he's the guy that gets taken down.
Yeah.
I think Diakis is just a little bit sharper on the feet than Alves is. So that's who I'm riding with in that one.
Awesome. I totally agree. We're both going to go with Rafael. Oh, dude, I did it again. I said the wrong thing again. We're both going to go with Mark Diakis in this one.
Yeah, dude. What? We're both not. We're both a little out of it today. Right?
All right, whatever.
Connor's taking on the most of this load because I am dead inside.
Today. We're agreeing.
We'll get you back.
We're gonna move right into the next one. Courtney Casey versus Leanne Njuguna.
I got this one. I'm gonna start with Joshua. She's a pretty significant underdog in this fight. She got stopped back in October by Miranda Maverick, but Miranda Maverick's like, I
She's
think
my biggest female prospect, I think, at this point.
and she beat the shit out of fucking Macy Barber. Courtney Casey on the other hand, she's fighting like much higher level competition. JJ Aldrich, Jillian Robertson, Angela Hill. She has a split decision win over.
That was a while ago.
Jill Watterson, Cynthia Calvillo. So her record is 9-9, but she has fought like the best. But I just for some reason see Jojo getting the win in this fight as a pretty sizable underdog. I think she's gonna take her down for 2 rounds and get a 29-28 decision. Like she's not the best on the feet. She's like a ground specialist, and I'm not saying she submits her by any means, but she certainly has the capability to.
Right.
I mean, Courtney Casey has been submitted by Jillian Robertson, but still, like, anyway, Jojo still has some dope submission game herself. So they're most likely a decision, but I'm gonna take Jojo by Jojo either way.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm gonna agree with you on this one, Dan.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
on like a plus 200.
I know, dude. Casey, UFC veteran, 13 UFC fights, only winning 8. Actually, she's lost 8, only winning 5 of those fights. Is currently riding a 2-fight losing streak. 4 out of her last 7 fights have been split decisions. So I get if you don't want to bet on this one, that's probably best. Save you some agita. Slightly positive striking differential, 38% accuracy. Also pretty one-sided, landing 1 takedown in her last 10 fights while getting taken down 24 times in that same time span. Currently has a 38% takedown defense, taking on Leanne Njuguna, 1-2 in the UFC. She's been outstruck in all 3 of her UFC fights with a minus 2.3 striking differential, but
Miranda Maverick put the hands on her bad. Like that's mostly why the number is that staggeringly
totally high. Yeah, it's skewed a little bit just because that fight was so one-sided. But she does have 1.5 takedowns per fight at 66% accuracy, and is going to be at a 5-inch reach disadvantage in her fight coming up. But
the lower center of gravity makes the takedown a little bit easier. I think she gets her down 2 rounds.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same exact thing. And even though she's at that disadvantage, I'm going with Njuguna. I think she'll be able to take Casey down, and that's going to be the difference maker, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, so I can't believe we're agreeing on eat up. I'm going to eat up after this. I think she's at like a plus 200 right now, Leanne Njuguna, and that's who we're going with. We're both agreeing. Leanne Njuguna. We're going to move right into the next one. Sean Woodson versus Colin Anglin. And I'm going to start off with Sean Woodson, 3-1 under the UFC umbrella. He fights at featherweight, but he's somehow 6'2" with a 79-inch reach. He's a striker with 1.3.
That's literally ridiculous.
Dude, his hands go down to his knees or pretty damn close to it.
Yeah.
He's got a plus 1.3 striking differential at 43% accuracy. Although he has been taken down in all 4 of his UFC fights, and that seems to be the biggest problem with his game. Although he has greatly improved in his defense over the short time he's been in the UFC already, with Yusuf Zalal going 2 for 17 on his takedowns and Julian Erosa going 3 for 6 on his takedowns. But in that Julian Erosa fight, Woodson was able to stand right back up. He had little control time, even though he got those takedowns. He's going to be taking on Colin Anglin, who's 1-1 under the UFC umbrella, making his debut against Melzik Bagdasaryan. So that was a very tough outing. He's definitely the more well-rounded of the two. He's got a plus 0.8 striking differential at 54% accuracy and 2.8 takedowns per fight at 80% accuracy, and hasn't been taken down yet in the UFC. He'll be at an 8-inch reach disadvantage in the fight against Woodson, though. That being said, this fight is tough. I think Anglin has had some rough matchups to start the UFC, which is a shame. But after seeing Woodson's takedown defense improve in that last fight against Zalal, I think that he's going to be able to stop Anglin's takedowns for the most part, at least.
I agree. I was going to say he showed improvement in the area that he was really lacking in. So With
Yeah,
that, like he's a
totally.
minus 300 favorite for a reason. If they're staying on the feet, you know who's getting the better of it. Woodson's getting the
He's
better of it.
that much of a. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's a -3. I did not know that. I
Guys
thought it
knocked
was.
out Terrence McKinney. You know, he has a win over Yusuf Zalal. That's impressive.
And that fight versus Terrence McKinney, like at the time, it wasn't a big deal, but then we showed how like Terrence McKinney made his UFC debut, and just like showed how much of a badass he is. So
yeah, absolutely.
that fight aged very well for Sean Woodson.
I agree.
Yeah, so we're both agreeing. We're both gonna go Sean Woodson in that one. We're gonna move right into the next one.
It's McDowell Byza versus Chaos Williams. This one, it's a tricky one, honestly. Like they're both pretty solid guys. Byza has wins over Takashi Soto, Matt Brown, Hector Aldana. He lost his most recent outing to Santiago Ponzinibbio, but that guy's a fucking animal. Chaos Williams had those two crazy knockouts in a row, and then he kind of just like outpointed Matthew Semmelsberger, who seemed a little bit tentative in that fight.
I love him though.
Yeah, I know you do.
He's sick, dude. He's got an awesome fighting style, and he's very good and very green.
Yeah, Chaos Williams is like, I don't think he's not like, I know he has the knockout power and shit, but like, I don't think he's gonna knock out Miguel Baeza by any means in this fight. I think Baeza is able to definitely withstand the storm that Chaos Williams brings. And I'm actually gonna take Baeza in this fight overall. I think he's able to just edge him out on points. And if he can get Chaos on the ground for a round or two, that's him all day. But Chaos just doesn't throw enough volume, I feel like. You know, you always want to like you hear those knockouts he has, and then you're just waiting for it to happen again, and it just seems to not happen.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna disagree with you on this one, Dan, and I'm gonna try and make a case for Chaos Williams right here. But you're right, this is a very close fight because both fighters are like very creepily similar.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. So it is, but like this fight is gonna be a banger.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it's like who's gonna get the better of who? I'm gonna start with Byza, 4-1 in the UFC, coming off his first career loss, which is huge actually. After you lose one time, like you want to come back and you want to make a statement, which I didn't even factor in. So that is actually a plus for your side. Coming off that loss to Santiago Ponzinibbio, he's finished 8 of his 10 wins, mostly by KO TKO. Slightly positive striking differential, 49% accuracy, 100% takedown defense has yet been taken down. We've seen how good his striking is, but he's also a BJJ black belt on the ground. Very slick. He's taken on Chaos Williams, 3-1 in the UFC. He just got thrown right in it to start his UFC career, knocking out Alex Morano, UFC veteran and top 15 fighter.
Yeah.
And Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He's got a 12-2 record, but has an extensive 15-fight amateur career, a plus 1.6 striking differential at 38% accuracy. But the difference maker in this, I think, comes down to the cardio. When you watch Miguel Baeza, he goes down like drastically after the first round.
But you got I'm figuring he addressed that issue at least somewhat.
Oh, dude, you think so? I mean, he looked good against Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio obviously won all 3 rounds, or at least 2 rounds.
I think Byza like out volumes Chaos in the first 2 rounds. Chaos doesn't throw that much volume.
I mean, they both average the same amount of strikes per minute.
Yeah.
And
he has had those crazy knockouts and shit, you know.
Yeah. But I do think Williams, he wins mostly by decision. I think he's got the far better gas tank, and that's what I'm going with. But Byza has a tough weight cut.
Yeah,
he's a big dude.
I think Byza is able to steal 1 and 2 with this volume. That's just how I see the fight playing out. I very well could be wrong, but
Yeah, I
it
think
just
the volume is very similar, but I'm gonna go with the gas tank. You're gonna go with the slight. He does have a slight more volume, but it's by a fraction. It's by a point. It's by 0.1 um,
yeah.
of like that small. So it is a very close fight. I don't know if you want to bet on this one either, but we're gonna disagree on this one. Dan's gonna go Miguel Baeza, and I'm gonna go with Chaos Williams, and we're gonna move right into the next one.
We got Cynthia Calvillo versus Andrea Lee.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Calvillo was making a come up, and then she lost to Caitlin Chukagian, and then kind of got starched by Jessica Andrade. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed for.
Not at all, dude.
That's what happens. People get starched by Jessica Andrade. And then Andrea Lee, on the other hand, she's coming off of a win, but before that, she lost 3 straight fights. Although 2 of them were to split decision fights to Joanne Calderwood and Lauren Murphy, and they're both in like the top 5 to 7 range.
I think they are actually 2 and 3.
Yeah, like they're ranked very highly in the division. So she does have that going for her. She's this is going to be a grapple fest. I think Calvillo has the slightly better wrestling, so I'm going to take Calvillo by decision in this fight, but it's a close one. Somebody's going to look to take somebody. They're both going to try to take each other down. Whoever gets the more time wins the fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on this one too, Dan. I'm gonna go Calvillo. She's 2-1 in her last 5, coming off back-to-back losses from Jessica Andrade and Caitlin Chukagian, like you said. So she's on a 2-fight losing streak against top competition. This is a great bounce back matchup for her. Not to mention she has a draw against Marina Rodriguez, which is
but Marina's leveling up right now.
Unreal. She's got a Calvillo has a plus 0.5 striking differential, 1.8 takedowns per fight at 44% accuracy, 71% takedown defense. She's taken on Andrea Lee, who's 2-3 in her last 5, broke a 3-fight winning streak, broke a 3-fight losing streak in her last time out against Antonia Shevchenko. She's got a plus 1.8 striking differential at 50% accuracy, also 2 takedowns per fight, 52% accuracy, 57% takedown defense. The odds for this fight are basically even, but in my opinion, Calvillo is on a different skill level than Andrea Lee. Her grappling,
but Andrea Lee has the size on her. She's a true flyweight, whereas Calvillo
is very short, and her range isn't that great.
Spectrum of flyweights, so that's the only thing that worries me about my pick. But fundamentally, I got Calvillo all day, but it could really go either way.
Not even. Yeah, I guess fundamentally, but I'm thinking that Andrea Lee and Cynthia Calvillo are just on 2 different levels of competition. Even with the size difference, like it's just we're talking about 2 totally different classes of fighters in this. And I know the odds makers aren't saying that it's basically even, but I really like Cynthia Calvillo in this fight.
I like that you like it too. Makes me feel a little better about it.
Hell yeah, dude. So we're both agreeing. We're both going to go Cynthia Calvillo. We're going to move right into the next one. Thiago Moises versus Joel Alvarez. This fight, I'm a fan. I'm going to say it. I'm going to come out. I'm a fan of Thiago Moises, Dan.
I like him too.
Dude, he is so underrated. And it might be it's wild to say that because I feel like he's gotten some hate in the past, but he is one of the most slept on UFC fighters, I think, right now. He's 5-3 since joining the UFC, still only 26 years old. Those losses coming from Benil Dariush, Damir Ismagulov, and Islam Makhachev, all killers of the trade. Absolute killers. Not to mention he has beaten Alex Hernandez and Bobby Green and Michael Johnson, actually. But what I really like about this guy is his ability to get better. When he joined the UFC, his striking was totally lackluster, but he's gotten so much better in that short amount of time. He put on a clinic.
He put Alexander Hernandez on the feet.
Dude, he put on a clinic against Alexander Hernandez. And we just saw Alexander Hernandez come back and KO that dude in the first round in 30 seconds. So we know he's good on the feet.
Man.
And he's only been in the UFC for 3 years, which is crazy. He's taken on Joel Alvarez, 3-1 in the UFC. He's a grappler, 16 out of his 18 wins coming by submission. Currently on a 3-fight winning streak. 2 subs in the first round. He's a big dude. He's 6'3". And he's had trouble making the scales, especially as of recently. He missed his last time out by 3.5 pounds. Both guys have a pretty great ground game, so I'm gonna go with Moises, and that striking being the difference maker in this one.
Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, this fight I was iffy on. I was like, Joel Alvarez could very well cash in as the underdog, but I think Thiago Moises is able to just get the better of him on the feet. Like, they're both ground fighters, and we watch that get neutralized a lot when you have two guys that specialize on the ground so much. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna take Thiago Moises in this one.
Awesome. I love to hear that. We're both going to go with Thiago Moises in that one, and we're going to move right into the next one. Song Yadong versus Julio Arce.
All right,
you got this one, man?
Yeah. Song Yadong. This man is still only 23 years old, which is crazy.
I actually said the same thing, dude. I cannot believe this dude is 23 years old. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's fought like high level competition already, like, and this fight's actually going to be close itself. Like, I don't know, like, I know who I'm taking, but at the same time, like, Julio Arce is a goddamn demon.
Yeah,
I mean, and Juicy J, Julian Erosa, he has a win over Andre Ewell with finishes. He's definitely got some power in those hands. But Song Yadong's got a brick of a head. So, like, I don't think he's knocking him out. And I think Song Yadong has that weird kind of style. He trains a team alpha male. I think he's able to edge out a decision on him or something. I think this fight is definitely going the distance. But yeah, I really do like Song Yadong. He's been in the UFC since 2017, which is crazy. Like, but yeah,
18?
Only getting better.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
So that's why I'm taking him in this fight. Song Yadong all day.
Yeah, dude, I'm 100% agreeing with you on this one. Song Yadong, 3-1-1 in his last 5, 6-1-1 in the UFC, and a 17-5-1 pro record, and he's 23 years old. It doesn't make any sense. His only UFC loss coming from Kyler Phillips. And he has wins over Casey Kenny, Marlon Vera, Alejandro Perez, a +1 striking differential, 60%, and only 60% takedown defense, but whatever. What are you going to do? Can't be good at everything. He's taken on Julio Arce, 3-2 in his last 5, 1-0 since moving down to bantamweight after a KO win over Andre Ewell. I think this is a much better weight class for him, 135.
Yeah, the weight change.
Yeah, he belongs here. He started his career hot with 3 straight wins, had a couple of hiccups on the way, a pair of split decision losses, but he's got a +1.3 striking differential at 36% accuracy and 93% takedown defense. This fight, I think, is staying on the feet. Both guys are tough, so I don't see a finish like Dan said here. In that case, Song has the far better volume in his striking, so I have to go with Song Yadong in this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally agree. We're both going to go with Song Yadong, and now we're going to move right into the next one. Roman Dolidze versus Kyle Daukaus.
I could take this one if you want.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, Roman Dolidze. He's coming off of that win over Laureano Staropoli. He lost to Trevin Giles, and he beat John Allen via split decision. And he did have that knockout in his first fight in the UFC. The only question mark about him is his gas tank. I worry about his gas tank a lot. And I think that Kyle Daukaus is an incredible grappler and that he's going to be able to get the better of him as the fight goes on. Like, Roman Dolidze could get a takedown in the first, but Kyle Daukaus is going to start to take over as the fight goes on. And Roman Dolidze drains out in fights. Like, let's be real here. We've watched him drain out multiple times. This
Absolutely.
guy, and he dropped a weight class too. Like, that's taking more out of your gas tank. So for those reasons, I can't take him.
Dude, you hit like every point I was trying to make. Roman Dolidze, not to mention he is taking the fight on short notice because Kevin Holland pulled out of the fight. 3-1 in the UFC, gassed out in that fight with Trevin Giles, but bounced back in his last time out for Staropoli, where he had 9 minutes and 40 seconds of control time. So basically 2 out of the 3 rounds, and it went to decision. So it went 15 minutes. And that's usually how he wins, wears on his opponents, grinds out decisions. That's basically it. He's going to be taking on a grappler in his own right in Kyle Daukaus, who's making a quick turnaround after a no contest against Kevin Holland in a fight where it was quick, but he was winning, I think. He's 2-2 and
Kevin Holland, anything could happen.
That's very true. He's got some heavy ass hands. Kyle Daukaus is 2-2-1 in the UFC. He's got a plus 0.6 striking differential at 53% accuracy, 1.9 takedowns per fight at 85%, and an 85% takedown defense. Not to mention black belt in BJJ, purple belt in Muay Thai, and that purple belt in Muay Thai is under Dwayne Ludwig, so pretty notable name. This fight might not live up to expectations because I see a lot of grappling. So if you don't like grappling, you're probably not going to like this fight.
A lot in this one.
Yeah, that's how I see it, dude. And I think Kyle Daukaus is just able to. He's got the better cardio. Obviously, this guy can go 5 rounds easy, and I think he gets the better of the striking exchanges. I'm gonna have to go with Kyle Daukaus in this one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something bad about Roman Dolidze, but I don't want to. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. All right. So we're agreeing.
Felicia Spencer. So we're agreeing on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Next we got Leah Ledson taking on Felicia Spencer. We haven't seen Leah Ledson since 2018, where she got a very, very narrow split decision win over Julia Stoliarenko, who is decent,
Yeah, she's okay.
Like nothing crazy.
No.
And she's taking on Felicia Spencer, who's one of the best 145ers the UFC has. I know she lost that fight to Amanda Nunes, but then she lost a very close split decision fight to Norma Dumont, who just beat the shit out of Aspen Ladd. And if we're gonna play some MMA math, Leah Ledson got TKO'd by Macy Chiasson. Like it's just not like it's. Everything I'm thinking in this fight is going against Leah Ledson in this fight. I got Felicia Spencer all day. Dude, I would even call it a lock.
Dude, oh wow, dude. I'm glad you said that because I totally agree with you. Leah Ledson, only 1-0 in the UFC, was on season 28 at Tough, and she lost her second fight, like you said, to Macy Chiasson. Wins mostly by KO TKO. Hasn't fought in 3 years. She did have 2 bouts scheduled, and she pulled out of both of them. What'd you say?
She's 5-1.
Yeah, she's very green. She's only 5-1, and she's taken on Felicia Spencer, who is 2-3 in her last 5 on a 2-fight losing streak, but it's from Amanda Nunes and Norma Dumont, just 2 absolute killers. And her only other pro loss is from Chris Cyborg. So she's only lost to literally elite competition, if you count Norma Dumont as elite. But like
Felicia Spencer's got the best chin in all women's divisions. I think.
Yeah, God bless her for fighting both of those. Just like total animals. With that experience alone, it's hard not to go with Felicia Spencer in this fight. And factoring in
with the man, she went 10 rounds with Cyborg and Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, like we would go like solid 1 minute us combined.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun.
No, dude, that's what I'm saying. God bless her brain.
Holy CTE.
Yeah, Ledson hasn't fought in 3 years. She's and not fighting in 3 years and having a 5-1 pro record, you're gonna have a shitload of ring rust. So I am definitely going with Felicia Spencer in this fight.
I like to hear you say that.
All right, so I'm gonna get this next one, and then you're gonna do the main event. All right.
I'm gonna do the main event.
Yeah, because is that all right? You want to do that? Because I had it last week.
I'll take the main event.
You got it. All right. We're gonna get right into the next one then. Big Ben Rothwell, Marcos Rogerio de Lima.
Gross fight of the night.
Hands down, gross fight of the night. Say what you want though about Big Ben Rothwell. That dude is stuck in time for being the size he is. He's like, he's still got it 100% hands down. He is coming back from that. After coming back from that 3 years PED suspension, he's gone 3-3, which isn't bad considering that he was like 38 years old at the time. And he has won 3 out of his last 4. He's kind of starting to get into a little rhythm. Not to mention he's got an iron chin. Put him on the what are the presidents on that fucking mountain? Mount Rushmore. Put him on the Mount Rushmore of chins, Dan. He hasn't been KO'd TKO'd since 2009 against Cain Velasquez, and he's fought like over 10 times since that point, and he's fighting
debatable stoppage too.
And he's fighting the heaviest dudes. So it's like he needs an award for that chin of his. He does have a -1 striking differential, but he's fought for so long. It's hard to like whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. 52% accuracy, 70% takedown defense. He has actually only been taken down one time since 2013, which is pretty crazy too. And he's going to be taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima, 3-2 in his last 5. Wins mostly by KO TKO. He's got a +1.1 striking differential, 54% accuracy, and 1.1 takedowns per fight at 66% accuracy. And I'll be honest, Dan, this is gross fight of the night.
It's gross, dude.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I have to pick someone, right?
Yeah.
I don't think de Lima will be able to KO Rothwell, right? This is my math right now. I don't think Lima will be able to KO Rothwell, and I don't see a finish from Rothwell. So I think we're going to see
who's active on the feet, and Ben Rothwell, I don't.
He does, man. He's got the volume advantage. But by round 3, we're 100% going to see 2 giant tired dudes, like, and someone's going to get a decision. And I have to go with Ben Rothwell in this one. His volume, look at his last fights. His volume is far better, and his gas tank is far better than Rogerio de Lima's. I'm going to have to do it.
Rogerio de Lima pulls it off. I do. I think he out volumes Big Ben.
No way.
I think so, dude.
No way in hell.
He's getting so old and slow.
Dude, the other de Lima's 36 too, and he's fucking the same size.
36 isn't that bad.
Dude, he's a PED 40. He's like 37.
Yeah.
All right, but we are going to disagree in this one. I'm going to go with Big Ben Rothwell, and Dan's going to go with Marcos Rogerio de Lima, and we're going to move right.
But we are agreeing that this fight is gross.
That is the gross fight of the night, hands down. And we're going to move right into the main event. I'm so excited to see Max Holloway fight. Max Holloway versus Yair Rodriguez. Dan, take it away.
Yair Rodriguez is a sick fighter. Don't get me wrong. He had that crazy maybe fight of all time against
Korean Zombie.
And then he had that unanimous decision win over Jeremy Stevens. This guy's like a pretty hyped prospect. But you know what Max Holloway does to pretty hyped prospects?
I think he's more than a prospect, but go on. I know what he does.
He breaks records on them. That's what he does. What he did to Calvin Kattar would get him thrown up in a penitentiary anywhere in the world. What he did to Brian Ortega in their first fight in only 4 rounds, where he landed the most significant strikes in UFC history, only to beat himself 3 years later in the Calvin Kattar fight. There is only one guy, like there's 2, just like the welterweight division has Usman and Covington right now as the 2 best. Max Holloway and Volkanovski are the 2 best. I got Max Holloway in this fight. He might not break any striking records, but he's gonna beat the shit out of him. That's my opinion.
Dude, 100%. I don't know how you can't go against Max Holloway ever. This is just a crazy
biased Max Holloway fan. So
this is a crazy fucking stat. Not like he does have a 2.8, with 2.7, a plus 2.7 striking differential, which is crazy. And he lands 7.3 strikes per minute. 84% takedown defense. Just the best striker in the UFC, in my opinion, hands down. 9 out of his last 10 fights, he's landed at least over 100 significant strikes, which is
Max Holloway's the best volume puncher in the UFC by far. But Izzy's the best striker in the UFC.
Dude, no, definitely Max Holloway's got to get that one. He landed 445 significant strikes in that fight against Calvin Kattar, and he did get screwed out of a win against Alexander Volkanovski. But yeah, it's just tough not to go with Max Holloway. The guy's only 29 years old still. I think that he is the same age as Yair Rodriguez, and we were calling Yair Rodriguez a prospect a second ago. You know,
Yeah, literally. Max Holloway's already the featherweight goat.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He must be, right.
Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah, he has to be. And I don't want to take anything away from Yair Rodriguez. He also has a plus 1.2 striking differential. Only
No, he's gonna be really good. He's just not as good as Max.
Exactly. You know, that's it. Also, I don't like how he doesn't fight enough. We haven't seen him since 2019. He hasn't fought in 2 years, over 2 years.
Max isn't sparring. Max is just drilling, and he's just ready to fight.
Yeah, he doesn't need to spar anymore. That's the point of perfection that man has gotten to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go with the bookmakers. I'm going to side with them at Max Holloway, who's currently sitting at a minus 550. So everyone's thinking it.
Everyone's thinking it. It's gonna happen.
I picture it.
Significant strikes in this one,
but I don't know if he's able to finish him. But I think that, and Yair Rodriguez is taken beatings before. That fight against Frankie Edgar, he took a insane beating from Frankie Edgar.
He did.
And so I don't see a finish.
He's leveled up since then, though.
Frankie Edgar had definitely the power in that fight that Max Holloway doesn't have. We're talking about 2016 Frankie Edgar. So, yeah. Max Holloway won 100%, and that's going to wrap up UFC Vegas 42.
It's been real.
It's been fun.
I can't believe I got through this.
God bless you, Dan. And we salute you, and all the fans, all the fans salute you at No Brainer MMA.
Thanks, brother.
All right, we're signing off.
Don't end the meeting yet.
Oh.